Hello everyone and welcome back. We got another great one for you today. So today we are going to be getting started rather, a fermented hot sauce. So if you ever, with your garden during the summer, you got a bunch of jalapenos or Anaheims or whatever hot chili that you like to grow. Got a bumper crop, you're not sure what to do with them? Well, that's what we're going to go over today. And get started with a delicious homemade fermented hot sauce. So let's check out what we need for it and get started. Okay, so first things first. Peppers. You're going to need a bunch of them. Now in here, as you can see, first off, they're kind of dried. So these have been sitting for a while actually in my basement in just a cardboard box, honestly, because if you didn't already realize it, peppers store incredibly well, especially hot peppers. I did have to throw a couple away because they had gone bad, but for the most part, the worst I have is something like this little guy, where it's just dried out. And I could use it as a dried pepper for something. So, it's mostly jalapenos, but in here as well are a few fish peppers, which according to the Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds description of it, fish peppers are a chili commonly found in Thailand. I kind of like them because they've got this really cool, like, oh, what the heck is the word? I'm forgetting it right now, but it's a dual color thing. And they've got really nice heat, kind of a mild fruity flavor. And then also I picked up some Tabasco chili plants from the garden store this year and grew some of those, and I still have a few of them left that I didn't use for other things. So that's what I got going on in here. Mostly jalapenos, like I said. I do also, as you can see, have a few cloves of garlic, and we're doing that just for flavor. You know, just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. And as you can see, the only thing I did was pull the stems off. Didn't remove any seeds, didn't remove any pith. I mean, except for a little bit right over here where I'm saving the seeds so I can grow more next year. But other than that, didn't do anything to them other than remove the stems. You're going to need some water. I don't know exactly how much, so I've just got a big measuring cup filled with water. Ignore the dishwasher. Sorry about that. And then I like to use a food processor for things like this, because we're going to kind of cut them up real fine, and instead of doing this all by hand, we're going to use the old food processor. We're going to have, not out, because I forgot to grab it, I'll go get that here in a second, salt. You want non-iodized salt, so sea salt, kosher salt, something like that. And then a container to put it in, glass or ceramic, because there's going to be a lot of salt, and it's going to produce an acidic environment, not unlike with the apple cider vinegar we did a couple weeks ago. You want something that's not going to react to all that and ruin all of your work. So glass, ceramic, one of those. And last but not least, not necessarily ingredients, but very useful, a kitchen scale and food prep gloves. I highly recommend food prep gloves whenever you're doing anything with hot peppers, because if you have never worked with them and accidentally rubbed your eye or something like that, after you're done because you forgot to wash your hands really good, yeah, let me tell you, you don't want to experience that. So that's something you can live without for your life. So highly recommend them. It's just like these right over here. I trial exam gloves, so they're non-latex. So anybody with latex allergies, you don't have to worry about that. And you can get them Walmart, Target, Costco, like I obviously did. Anything like that, they're usually in the health section. And you just pick them up there. Not terribly expensive. And yeah, so that's all you need to get this started. So that is what we're gonna do right now. Okay, so here we go. Now the process is really simple because all you're trying to do is extract flavors and let the natural sugars and everything ferment from the lactobacteria that are going to be present in here. So all we need to do, we're going to want to get this chopped up nice and finely. So we're going to just throw a bunch of these in here with the garlic. So you and I can get that chopped up too. Looks like I might actually be able to fit all of it in here. It's going to be a little full, but that's okay. That's okay. It should be fine. If things get chopped up a little extra fine so I can get everything, that's not going to be a problem. Okay? Make sure your lid's on secure, and there we are. That's all we're looking for, and get a big old nose full of hot pepper. So there it is, nice and colorful, very pretty. So then what we're gonna do here, get you pointed at the right direction. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be done by weight, which is why I recommend a scale. You can do it by some volumes and stuff like that. I don't have that directly in front of me to do it because I prefer to do anything I can by weight when I can, just because it's a lot more precise. Because if you fill something with a cup, right, if you might fill it a little more full or a little less full or whatever from one batch to the other, but if you weigh out 10 grams or 1 pound or 6 ounces or 1 kilogram or whatever it is you're doing, it's always going to be that if you hit that weight exactly. So now when I'm doing these things, I do like to use grams for kind of the same reason I just said I prefer to use weight. It's much more precise. So because when you're dealing with small amounts, which we will be when we get to our salt, I'll just dump some peppers on the floor there. That's fine. I'll sweep that up in a minute. It's easier to get more accurate amounts of salt in. So then we're just going to very carefully move all this into our jar, like so. Spilling a little bit more, but that's fine. Again, we'll get that in a minute. Now, if you prefer to use like a rubber scraper or something like that instead of your hand, you can. I just generally use my hand just because I do. Okay. Hold this so I don't accidentally zero it. Change the unit, but that's fine. Oh good, it apparently did anyway. Alright. Well, since my scale is being a butthead, we'll just do it this way. Real quick. Conveniently, I've got another container. Alright. So we've got 760, call it 2 grams, because there's a little bit extra in there still. Okay, so that way if it zeroes out again, we don't have to worry. Okay. In fact, I'm not even going to do that on there. I'm going to get a little close to you here, but that's okay. $762 grams, we gotta remember. Now, one of the other things we're gonna need to do here, especially because these peppers have dried out a bit, they're not gonna have as much moisture as they would normally. So So what we're going to also do, add some water to it. So I'm just going to kind of slowly add water until all of my pepper mixture is just covered. So about like that. Which, amazingly, is actually another 762 grams. So, what that means is, alright, so that what, 700 and be 1,520 grams approximately. 1525. So, this is the salt that I use, just good old Morton coarse salt kosher. Wow, I don't know why that was a tongue twister for me. So you want somewhere between 2 and 3% of the total weight added as salt. So, since it's 1,525, so that'd mean 1% would be 15.25. So we're talking 30.5 grams of salt. So that is what we're going to add. I'm going to do this very carefully. If you overdo it, it's not going to be a huge deal. You can either just add a little more water to reduce the salt content, or just realize that your fermentation might take a little bit long. You don't want it to go crazy over, because if you get too much, then it's just not going to ferment at all. So you do want to be a little careful. A little longer. Now when you're stirring this, not unlike the container itself, you want something that's going to be non-reactive. So I've got these nice little bamboo utensils. So I'm going to stir that all in real good. Like so. Make sure the salt is nice and mixed through. Like so. That's really about all there is to this first step here. So then what we're going to do and just keep stirring a little bit just to make sure. But then what we're going to do is just put a cover on this and let it sit for a few weeks. Now, when you cover it, it's going to be loosely. It's going to be either, if you've got a lid like so, you're going to want to set it somehow so gas can escape, or you're going to want to come lift the lid regularly so any kind of gas that produces out of it, it can escape out. The other thing you can do is just use something that's permeable. Coffee filter, paper towel, cloth towel, something like that to cover it all up. And now if you notice your pepper mix starts floating up a bit, then what you're going to want to do is find something to press it down so it stays underneath the liquid. I might actually just add a little more liquid and a little more salt to this, in fact, to get it covered a little bit better. I think I need just a little bit more. So we're going to do that real quick. Oh, I did forget to mention one thing. Water when you're doing this. You want something non-chlorinated, because chlorine is used as an antimicrobial agent, and we want microbes to be growing here. Very specific microbes, but microbes nonetheless. We'll do 160 grams of water. That should be fine. Just a little extra, which means we're doing... Oh, I only did 2%. I wanted 3%. So I actually need another, what? It was 30, so I need another 15 plus, what? 5, so we'll call it another 20 grams. So we're just gonna add a little salt until that gets to 182. There we go, that should be good. Okay. But yeah, so you want to use non-chlorinated water and water without a very high salt content in it on its own. So that's why I was using that little tap right there. So I have a well, and the water is a little bit on the hard side. So we have a water softener, which of course involves salt. And then we've got a reverse osmosis system for the drinking water to help kind of remove some of that. And that's what I'm using in this case for kind of the same reason. I don't want all that extra salt in it. And I don't want... I mean, the minerals would be fine, but all of the extra salt is a bit much. So, there we are. That's better. That's better. So then we're just going to let this sit, like I said, for a couple weeks. We'll go check it and stir it every few days just to make sure it's going well and check on it, all that fun stuff. And then we'll come back and check out the rest of it another time. So, there we are. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Nice quick one, something a little different for you, like I said, to help you use up some of those hot peppers from your garden. Or if you want to go buy some hot peppers and make it, do that too. Like, don't let not producing these things in your own gardens or whatever stop you from experimenting and learning new skills. Go buy produce from the grocery store, from a farmer that you know, from wherever, and practice these things. Like, you're not going to be better until you start working on it, so don't let purists tell you that you have to do all of these things before you can start working on other things. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you made it, let me know how it turned out in the comments below, or in the comments on any updates that I'll be posting as we go along, or any of that kind of thing. And yeah, share this out to everyone that you know that might like it. Subscribe, all of that kind of fun stuff. Have a wonderful day. Have a little bit of bonus chickens. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time.